everybody, it's David Ault, and welcome to another edition of The Gathering, the travel edition, final one from Cambodia. These beautiful souls are the last remaining survivors of our last day. We are in a village where a lot of families and villagers by tens of thousands were moved in displacement camps, and we have been checking on the water wells that we have sponsored, and we finally got the last family and the last water well completed. And you always get to hear me, but you don't really get to hear the people who take the time and the investment to come on adventures like this, because this is not necessarily a luxury. It's not a luxury tour at all. It is a true volunteer. It's an integration into the Cambodian people, and they interface with all of the issues and the day-to-day struggles, but they also get to see the resilience and the beautiful equanimity that exists among these people. So I have invited Katie and Joan and Donna and Nikki to espouse poetic, beautiful truths that will inspire you. So no pressure, guys.
No pressure.
All right. So first question, anybody, when you think about these massive 2 weeks that we have spent together, we're on a dirt road, by the way, so there's going to be a lot of walking. When you think about the intensity and all of the things that we've covered, what are some of the biggest takeaways for you? Anybody?
So, I'll start.
All right.
One of the words that you mentioned, well, actually two, were resiliency and integration.
Okay.
So, for me, the resiliency of seeing the people is, it's really hard to see the situations, I would say. But like this last well we were at, it was a family with lots of little kids, and they were actually playing in the water, just having a great time. And to see something like that, it makes it very meaningful to know that these wells are really helpful, and
That there's joy even in a lot of suffering.
Yes, that's really well put. Yes.
Who else?
I would just say it's the kindness of the people has really struck me. I mean, there hasn't been any yelling. There hasn't been no dog fights. And there's lots of dogs roaming around here.
Just yelling between the people in the group.
Yeah, like they're all yelling at each other, but nobody else is. No, just the kindness of the people. And they really go out of their way to help us, which is ironic.
Anybody else?
I guess I'll have to go going around. And I'm just going to tag on to Nikki, the resiliency, the gratitude as we go to different homes, and just how appreciative of what we're doing, how appreciative they are for the help that we're giving. And it's just been, and just to see the resilience, they're overcoming this hardship that, we look at, and I can't even imagine taken from my home, someplace far, distance for that. Put out in a place that has no real infrastructure, and they're growing plants, they're putting in gardens, they're rebuilding their lives. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Well, I think for me, I've had a lot of difficult days, seeing how the families live their lives, but they live it with such joy and happiness, and you see the love in their eyes, and someone here in the group said it beautifully, is they live from their heart, not from their head, and we really feel that with these people here and all the families, and see the joy in their lives.
And oftentimes we talk about paradox, so that's a big spiritual lesson which has so many different meanings and can be expressed and diagrammed and discussed in many ways. But the paradox in travel is that oftentimes we think we're the ones that are helping, but the real reality or the paradox of the activity is that they're helping us. They're teaching us lessons about resiliency and how blessed we are and how forgetful we are about what we do have, which we may never understand or come to terms with or realize fully until you put yourself in the position around the world. I think it was Mark Twain who said that travel is one of the greatest things that breaks down our prejudice. And so to be able to travel and to interface with people, you start to see that everybody has a commonality, and they want to be seen, they want to be heard, they want to be valued, they want to be given a chance. And you don't have to travel all the way around the world to Cambodia to see people, to listen to people, to let people feel acknowledged. We all get to do that in our own way, in our respective corners, everywhere around the planet. And I just want to encourage you to take that to heart, because in these divisive times, as much as we've heard how kindness matters, it's not only matters, it's essential. It's essential. And we start to see firsthand how just kindness and sharing is not something that we as Westerners are doing for them. They're doing it for us as well. What about you, J-Rom?
Oh, wow. I learned that, oh God, David, I don't know. So many things. That God is everywhere. And even in the harshest, most bleak, like, just heart-wrenching situations that God is still there. And I learned that because Ram Dass came to the well that we dug in his honor.
What do you mean that Ram Dass came to the well that you dug in his honor?
So Ram Dass had a stroke and lived 20-something years, paralyzed with his hand like this, and his right side. And of the 18 wells that we dug, the one that was for Ram Dass, the story of the family, was that the woman had dengue fever, had a stroke, and her hand and right side was paralyzed, and her hand was like this. And so we know that that was just such a clear indication that no matter where we are and how bleak things look, we are cared for. The presence is available to us and is working there as well.
Break.
No,
So we got all the dust out.
Not a coffee break.
Not a coffee break, but a cough break, because our lungs are filled with dust and we sound really sexy. Anybody else? Anything else about the trip, of the people, or what you learned about yourself? I think that's a
great question.
What you learned about yourself.
Well, it made me question my life, really, in a profound way. I've been thinking, like, what have I been doing with my life when I see these people and see this community? And there are a lot of people here doing good things, and it just makes me want to be a part of it. And puts my life into perspective of thinking, I worry about so many frivolous things that don't have any meaning in the grand scheme of things. And so, even talking to my kids back at home, hearing their little trivial problems, it just goes right over me. I'm just like, that's not even an issue anymore. So I think when I go back home, I'm going to be a lot more, I don't know what the word is, just like, I feel like things are just going to,
Aware.
aware of what's important and what matters, and focus more on the things that matter.
But you know, I believe too that there's no such thing as wasted time, and that everybody comes to like the experience that you had exactly when they're supposed to have it, and not any moment sooner, because there was something primed and ready for you to be able to experience that. Anybody else have that?
I think for sure I think had I come at any other time before now, I would have been more in a place of the hero, coming to fix it. I want to fix it, I want to be the savior, I want to, and this experience allowed me to just ingrain in myself even more so
saying and what I have come to realize from the almost 20 years of doing this is that I was where Joan was when I started, what Joan was talking about, that without even realizing it, there was this helper role inside of me. And that helper role was something that I needed in order for me to justify my existence. And so, as much as I thankfully have gravitated from being the helper, it needed to be that way in the beginning. So, if you're a helper or you're helping in humanitarian efforts or philanthropy, it's not about doing it right or wrong. It's that hopefully as you continue in those opportunities to share, that you grow kind of as I'm growing, that it's not so much about clinging to the identity of the helper, because if you stop at being the helper, then you always have to have somebody who needs help. And the true resilience is to see people for the value and the beauty and the transcendence that they are, and meet them there. Don't meet them at the level of their disparity, but meet them at the level of their resiliency. And in that way, we both thrive. And it's kind of difficult to talk about intellectually, but it's something so incredible to experience as you're doing it. And to recognize, God, the old me. Like, for example, we've had many people come, and there have been people who would see something and just kind of, they would give money and do things to sort of fix the problem. And that's like phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. But phase 4, 5, and on and on and on is beginning to not program at people, but work with them. And it's a development. It's something that happens in true humanitarianism, is that we see the humanity in people instead of just being the helper. And it's the most incredible gift that I have received in the whole time that Kaleidoscope has been in existence. I finally learned that after many, many lessons. And it's people like this that allow us to engage at that level and see people for the truth that they are.
I was just going to say that. What was the question again?
I don't remember.
What has it changed in you?
Okay, so you always say things so beautifully that really, I wish I could say them like that. But thank you for saying that. Anyway, this is my 6th trip.
Wow.
You're wondering, should I go again? Should I not go again? Every time I come, I'm like, why was I thinking I'm not going to go? Because I just feel so welcomed here and so loved.
You are so loved here.
You are so loved here.
And I feel it, and it's like, so what I want to take back with me is I just want to be like inclusive of people, no matter what station they are in life. And I'm not, we're all the same, we're all connected, and that's what I feel there is a connection. And with our travel group even, I love them. It's just, I always meet so many great people, and I'm just grateful. Every time I come, I really hang on to that word, I would say. Grateful for the experience and for what I love.
So there's a few of us that are headed to India tomorrow for more. And we invite your prayers of lung relief and financial support. We've got hundreds of families in the slum of Lakhanpur where we have built our school that we want to provide food for. And so we're gearing up for round 2 for those of us who are going to India. In the link of this video, I will post the wish list and information about Kaleidoscope. And if you feel so moved, every little bit goes to make these people experience a new level of thriving. So thank you from the bottom of our heart, and we'll see you in India.